Si, senor.
Si, senor. Here we are. Hello.
Hello. Hola.
Hello.
Cinco de Mayo. What is this?
We need subtitles.
Hey, it's Friday night. It's 7:32 because we're a little bit late coming in, but that's good. We are your hosts.
Big G, I think.
Karen Little B.
Bourbon Bob. Cheese. All right.
Cheese. Not the not the
man.
cheese, Milo. The keys.
So I've been priming this for the whole week, and I've been excited about this show. You know, please excuse some of the cheesy. No offense, but some of the cheesy little.
I want to know if we're gonna bust out the Rock'em Sock'em robots.
I didn't bring the robots.
What?
None of the robots.
Rock'em Sock robots?
None of the robots were harmed in the making of these promos. I do have the robots. We will put them together, and we will be able to play Rock'em Sock'em robots next week.
Very good.
Okay. But I just thought it was just kind of cool. It's perfect for this versus because this is something that everybody, old-fashioned bars had the white and the black, and this is what we started with in the bourbon, in my bourbon world at least. So.
Right, I agree.
Well, I crack up because when I saw you post those pictures, I could picture the bottles with arms going like, big time wrestling and bamming down on them and stuff.
Oh my
goodness. It was great. But if you can't tell, we're a little
We're lackadaisy.
excited.
We're a little lackadaisy today. We're just kind of getting through. It's good. It's good. I mean, what else can happen?
So
I don't know. I'm really excited for this show, though. I'm so excited.
I am too.
And I'm so excited that we have Joris and
Joris.
Bob up north.
and Rico.
Rico.
Did you get a lot of Rico Suave jokes when you were? I was just curious.
Yes, he did.
Oh my gosh.
But all right, let me do a quick one for you. Congratulations to Rico, who is finally graduating from college.
Absolutely.
Chemical engineer. Congratulations, son. I could not be more happy for your stick-to-itiveness on this.
Who? What?
He's stick-to-itiveness. He stuck it out.
Stuck it
Oh,
out.
is that a word?
Yeah, you can look that one up.
Okay.
I Google-fied it. But I am just so excited and so jazzed that he is stuck to it and completed this task, and I can't wait for you to be successful in your career.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
anyway.
Did you
Hey,
say? What did you say?
Stick-to-itiveness?
Oh, I thought you said Stu Knots.
No,
Okay.
Stu Knots. No, Stu Knots. No, I'm not a Stu Knots.
I'm just teasing you, Rico.
Jose Padilla and Joe D'Amico say, hey, everyone.
What is up, kids?
Yeah.
Oh,
Love it.
we got a good crowd on this.
Good crowd on
early,
already?
waiting for this show. So
We've got a lot to talk about because we were off last week.
Yep.
So, I don't know about you guys, but I did some cigaring and bourboning. I went to a nice bourbon tasting last Thursday. It was a Sandusky distillery called Everwild, and they do a Seekers bourbon. They did 4 of them, and they just put out a vodka.
Seekers?
Seekers is their product.
Okay.
And fantastic distillery. I'm looking forward to a trip up there.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe we can bring some of that one on here, and just great time. So,
Gotcha. Awesome.
Very cool. Very, very
Awesome.
cool.
I'm
Yeah, I
done.
saw the pictures, or
yeah, I did the live feed, and that was Erica and Evan. Thank you guys for inviting us out there. My wife stayed with my mom. She had her knee replaced. That why I could
Very
go
nice.
and do that thing.
Very
so
nice.
we had a great time.
Cool.
And I see your beard cut is holding up nicely from Lisa.
Yeah, I'm doing a nice job trying to, but she's gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to the Goulardi one, much to my wife's dismay. But I'm gonna bring that one out.
I like it.
Oh, no.
I think that looks good on you.
Yeah,
now.
thank you. I appreciate it. And Rico went up to visit the Sheer Excellence.
Yeah, the salon up there. Sure, up there.
Experience releases and did some nice jobs with cleaning him up. 'cause
Right
his
there,
beard gets
Cornerlander
wild.
Road and
Yep.
Miles
Yep.
Road, man.
Yep.
Perfect.
Since you're
Great
talking
spot.
about our sponsors, let me throw them
There
up on
you
the
go.
screen
Let's
there.
hear it, kids.
Royal Havana, Rayon Cognac, the Experience Barber and Shave Company, Rawhide Firearms, Village Martini and Wine Bar, and of course, Johnny's Grill and Pizzeria, which
Amen.
great chicken dinner we had when Robert was here a couple weeks ago.
Yep. Yeah, and thank you, Robert, if you're watching. Thanks for doing the show, man. It was a good time.
Amazing.
Always fun. Great guy.
And Robert was not in trouble when he got home. His wife was asleep, so.
That's
And
what
he actually
said.
got to go through the door, not the window.
Yep.
True.
Yep. I talked to him on Wednesday. He said he didn't have to put the ladder away. It was already
Good.
put away.
Good.
So-
That
Good.
was so funny.
There was another guy in the room already.
Well, it was funny. It was like after we left and the camera was off, he started telling some
Oh my God,
stories,
he did.
and they were awesome. Like one of them is like right up my alley. It's like a ghost story kind of thing, and I loved that. But it was a lot of fun, and we hope he comes back.
Yeah, he will. He said he'd like to come and just sit in the audience. I said, anytime.
Anytime.
He's a quiet guy. You don't have to worry about all the other stuff.
Oh, we had so much
All
fun.
the
with him.
riffraff that somehow makes
Too
it
funny.
like.
So how's everybody's week today? This week.
Everybody's week today?
Yeah, this week today. It went fast.
This week was a short week.
You're not going to believe this, but we didn't do a show last week.
No, we
We're
didn't.
making.
Let me just do one thing real quick. On a serious note.
Go ahead.
Friend of the show, Michael Newman, his dad passed away
he
last
did.
week, and
Yes, he did.
we just wanted to do a toast to Michael and his family. Hope you guys are doing well in this trying time.
I got to get a little something here. Hang
Here's
on.
to you and
One
your family.
second. Hang on.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
oh,
Michael.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm holding everybody
Yeah,
up. I
yeah,
apologize.
That's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Try not to really drink because I got to get up early tomorrow.
Michael's a good friend of the show. He's been here a couple times, and here's to your pops, man.
Greg, are you
Yes.
sandbagging tonight? What?
I am
No,
sandbagging.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Cheese.
got tomorrow. I got to get up early and I got to run to New York for a quick minute. Got some business up there, and then I got to be back by 3-4 o'clock.
New York.
What was your week like? You do good?
Yeah, it was hell week. I mean, it just never ended this week. It was. Bleh.
So 5 days are gone, and you're ready for the weekend.
I am so ready for the weekend, and I am so ready for this show, and I wish I could put those pictures up, but for some reason I'm having technical difficulties this evening, so I'm not able to get the wonderful pictures that you took and put to our Facebook page.
Just go back to
on,
the Facebook and the Instagram, and they had some some wrestling poses and stuff. So it was kind of fun. I had a lot of fun with it. And hey, this is what you got to do. Have fun. Can't take it too seriously, and this is got to be perfect because we all have stories about these two. These two were on the bars when we started drinking.
Absolutely.
I mean, there was none of the fancy
From the
stuff
bottle.
from the bottle. Yeah.
from the bottle.
From the bottle,
Literally.
There was a
Do
nipple
that.
on there, and we were sucking on it.
Doesn't Kid Rock sing about that? It's drinking whiskey out the bottle?
Yeah.
Exactly.
all summer long.
Yeah,
All
all
summer
summer long. Wow. All
He liked
right.
it so much he started a bar. Tennessee or Kentucky.
I gotta go there.
All right.
Fun.
All right.
So let's try to keep a little bit of our regular stuff going. Yeah, Greg, what are you smoking?
I'm smoking a Royal Havana Diablo Maduro. Does not smoke like a Maduro. It's a great cigar. It's I think $7 or $8 a cigar. It smokes like a $12 cigar. The structure of it, there's multiple blends in there,
Nice tight.
and I don't
wrap
know
on
them
it.
all. It's tight, but I'll tell you what, it's very, very good.
Nice.
Very good.
All right,
Karen?
I have a Cuba from Acid. That's what I'm smoking. It's unraveling
You had an Acid?
because who what?
You said you had an ass ache?
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
Especially
Well, that was
after
last Friday.
Was that
Yeah.
from when you were in? Was that when you were in Cuba?
Yeah, no, this is from actually our last show, and I didn't put it away like I'm
Oh.
supposed to, so it's unraveling, but it's still awesome.
And I'm doing one of the 660 Big G Whiskey Roundtable cigars because it's become my second favorite one next to the Diablos that Royal Havana puts out.
Awesome.
Tea.
What do you got?
Cheese.
AJ Fernandez San Latano. Very good cigar.
Very good.
Nice.
cigar. Awesome.
Yep.
Nice.
All right,
Awesome.
all right.
We doing a whiskey show today?
We are doing a whiskey show.
Well, let's get into this.
So why don't we get into go
No,
ahead.
bring us up. You bring us. You.
So it kind of was a collaborative effort on doing this one, doing a versus, and you all had some good ideas. We might, if this goes off well, we might do brackets and put the winner of this one against another one. I don't know. This could take on its own life.
This is going to be a disaster. but
It's just a train wreck
No.
waiting to happen.
don't leave.
This is a train wreck waiting to happen
It's
because.
our shot out of a cannon already.
So everybody's got a Jack Daniels or Jim Beam story because you started with it. So why don't we just go around the table and say, wait a minute, why don't we do what Karen said? Karen wanted to do predictions of who's going to do what at the end. What we're gonna like?
What are our predictions?
For who's gonna like what?
You know, the goal of this is to say which one wins. Is it Jim or is it Jack? So who's gonna pick what? So my prediction, I'll start it since I'm already talking. My prediction is Minister of the Liver, you're gonna take Jim, or no, Jack. I'm
Okay.
sorry. G, you.
I don't know where he's gonna vote for.
He's already wearing the shirt. He's gonna take Jim Beam. I'm gonna take Jim Beam, and Cheese, you're a newcomer to this, so I'm not really sure where you're gonna fall. I'm gonna say you're gonna split the table and take Jack. Okay.
We will see.
We shall see.
Now, see, I'm gonna go this. I'm gonna take the same thing. I'm gonna go split decision on the table too. I'm gonna go you two, Jack, Jim, and us two, Jack.
All right.
But with that being said, we know that both of these companies put out higher bottles.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
much better
Yeah.
Oh
bottles.
God, yeah.
Okay, so
The-
I want to take that off the table right now. That's not even going to be in consideration for tonight.
Those are-
It's because Jim Beam has a great family of bourbons, and Jack Daniels has done a great job with their offshoots of these. But this is where it started from, so that's where I'm going with it. Is 2-2.
So what I like about those bottles, they're the entry level version, and those will decide whether you're going to drink whiskey for the rest of your life or not. So,
Would you call this the lightweight division? I don't know. Is this featherweight maybe?
Probably,
Okay.
probably, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
featherweight.
Makes sense.
I think
Makes
featherweight
sense.
is good. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
makes sense.
Since you've got the whole boxing thing.
Yeah.
Featherweight. It's the opening card. It's the non-professional
Little League.
fights.
Little League.
Yeah, it's not the title match, but it's
Hey, when's he going home?
I don't know. He just got back.
He's
you know?
stupid. He's stupid.
7:43
It's Jake Paul.
already,
It's Jake
huh?
Paul before he got famous.
What do you think? How do you think the table's gonna go?
Well, I got reintroduced to whiskeys by Greg after some rocky roads in my youth and a long sabbatical. So, but when I started to drink, I found that I liked Jim Beam Redemption Rye a lot. So I probably have more affinity for Jim Beam, but I would say that when I've tasted the Jack Daniels higher level bottles, I've liked them more than Jim Beam's. So I am a split decision
You're
as
a
we're
wild
I think
going.
you're gonna be the
you know,
That's
it's-
because you haven't had this.
oh, don't bring the stepchild out.
I'm good.
That'd be the
Oh,
Jim
no.
Beam
I've
Black.
had- I actually
for
have
those
that.
of
It
you
is good.
Can't see that.
All right,
Fantastic.
there's the guy that's going to be into the ring later on if you don't play this one well.
Gee,
But
what
I
are you-
am
who are you
drinking
taking?
this.
Ooh.
Oh,
Who are you taking for what?
Well, I'm going to smack around Jack a little for a little while, and then I'm going to sit down and have a cigar and enjoy that Jim Beam.
oh.
All right, so
You
you're
are the
going
one
with
who, at
Jim.
one point in the blind tasting, picked Jim Beam. Are you not?
I am.
I'm sorry. No, Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the blind
yeah.
tasting,
Yep.
Did he?
as did
Oh, yeah.
you,
Yep. I
What
did.
did-
Monsignor.
Well,
But that
hey,
wasn't this bottle.
you
It
never
wasn't
know.
that bottle. You got to realize. True. Okay, so
So what about the rest of us? What is your prediction for the rest of us? What will we pick?
I think it's going to be split decision, and it's going to be a rematch down the road.
Ding, ding. Rocky 2.
Okay.
Sequels.
All right. So let's pass some glasses out, and we're going to do this really informal. We're going to pass the glasses and pass the
Are
bottles.
you guys are doing the Jack?
Well, we'll just do it. We'll do the same bottle. Let's do
All
the
of
same
us?
bottle. Yeah,
Same
let's
thing?
all the same
All
thing.
right. Well, go ahead.
But why don't we tell some stories about how you were introduced to these bourbons, if you have a Jack or a Jim story? Cheese, you got a Jack or Jim story?
I was
Or did you
sworn
tell
off
it?
whiskey since I was a minor because I got really, really sick on Crown Royal, and then as punishment, my mother number 2 made me drink a shot of Kessler.
Ugh.
I have
did
never
not.
heard
I
of
did.
that.
I did not drink whiskey for approximately 15 years, and then I got about 10 years, and then I got married, and on my bachelor party night, I was drinking Jack, and I met a similar demise. So there is a lot of crash and burn associated with Jack Daniels. I'll just say that.
See, here's the
I,
bottom shelf.
I have to look
Here's
at
Kessler laying on the
Excuse me
floor.
Oh,
one second,
yikes.
kids. You guys keep
So,
going. I got just gonna.
What would be your story,
Oh
Karen?
my gosh. So, Jack Daniels, I'm a product of the 80s. And every rock band back in the 80s Jack Daniels.
I thought I had a Kessler, but I
especially Van Halen, which we were listening to prior
glass.
Go ahead, I'm
prior to
listening.
the show. Jack Daniels
Yeah,
was
another glass.
No,
huge.
just a
I
little
think
one.
Michael Anthony
Little one.
even had a Jack Daniels guitar. So
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
Karen.
that was what I tried. I did that blah 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 blah, and then I went to Ohio University, and I tried Jim Beam. And Jim Beam is what I thought was better. I thought it had less bite at the time.
The Jim Beam White.
I don't know, it was Jim
Okay.
Beam. So what's funny, I do have a funny story though about this. So while I was at OU, I did get not addicted, but I did get an affinity for Jim Beam. So when my friends would come down to visit me, I would have them try Jim Beam. And one of them said, "Oh my gosh, this is really, really good. What is this?" And I said, "It's Jim Beam. It's Jim Beam whiskey, bourbon, whatever you call it." And she's like, "Oh my gosh." So she's drinking it all night. And then later on in the evening, someone had come up to her and said, "Hey, what are you drinking?" She's like, "This Jimmy Dean. It's great."
The sausage. She's drinking sausage.
God.
Wait, I think you made a. No, that was pepperoni, not sausage.
Hey now.
Well,
Hey,
she
chewier.
It
probably
was a
had,
smoky.
she probably had the sausage later that night. But
Womp, womp,
hey, it was my college days.
Too funny.
So my introduction was Jack Daniels. I mean, that's what I started with because, again, 80s, everybody drank Jack Daniels. The motorcycle guys, the tough guys, all that. I wanted to be a tough guy, so I started drinking the Jack Daniels, and it didn't make me a tough guy.
Up here it did.
I had it up
did
here. It was good.
yeah.
But I mean, so that was the other thing. So I was a diehard Jack Daniels guy. I became a Jack Daniels squire because if you don't know that, Jack Daniels has the club where you sign in and
Sure.
you get a postage stamp piece of land, and then they send you the, "Hey, somebody was trespassing on your property and we chased them off" letters. It was kind of cool. It was just, you had that nice little interaction there. So I was a Jack Daniels guy for a long time. So that was my Jack Daniels introduction, and I drank that for a long time.
All right. G, you have any stories about Jack or Jim?
So I have two stories. So
Pick one.
So I was never a whiskey guy. My thing was
Cerveza.
red, white, and blue beer, and a shot of Jack Daniels. And I didn't like the Jack Daniels because I really wasn't a whiskey guy. I was more into beer when I was a lot younger. So anyway, as time went on, I started getting connected to Jim Beam products, and I really liked them. It's always been my go-to. I have tried that bottle, the entry bottle, if you will. I have tried it a couple of times, and I think it's a pretty nice bottle. I get some green apple forward on the nose, but it's very
Well, we
subtle.
drank Jack first, though.
What's
Well,
that?
we're drinking Jack.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we are drinking.
Yeah, so
Now, and my thing is that this is an 80 proof product now.
okay.
Years ago, it
86.
wasn't. It was 90.
86 is what I
86.
found.
No, it should be 80.
Well, I got 43
Okay.
proof, well, whatever.
Okay.
86.
86.
Okay.
But
That's
what
what I
happened
found.
is
You
that
could be right. Who knows?
Jack Daniels lowered the proof and didn't tell anybody. It was a big hush hush secret.
I
thing.
remember that. You're
Right.
right. You're exactly right.
And that's when I quit
You
drinking
are-
Jack Daniels because they put
You're
out a big ad
exactly
campaign.
right.
7 generations, 127 years, one recipe.
Yep.
And
They changed it.
They never
took-
told you how much water they had
Right,
to make
and
it.
that's what it was, and that's what made me say no more Jack Daniels. They tried to hoodwink us, and I quit drinking Jack Daniels at that day.
So what does the bottle actually? Does the bottle have a proof on it, Cheese? I'm just curious since we have a
40% alcohol by
There you
volume.
go.
80
Bodgers.
So they lowered it
Ding,
10%.
ding, ding.
All
Yeah.
right.
So they lowered it 10%, and that was the day
You're right. They
I
did.
quit drinking Jack Daniels.
I remember that. I remember that was.
I
years
was
ago.
not going to be lied to.
I wasn't
And I
losing
said,
that.
"Damn it," and I
I
said,
wasn't losing that 10%.
I don't like it. I never drink it again. But anyway, and then years go by. Next thing you know, I don't even drink beer anymore.
So I'm going to dive into this one and see if it's still what I remember because
Okay.
I'm going to take some of the stuff that I've learned over the years, the nose and everything else again, but I'm not going to score it. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know.
Maybe we'll get creative.
All
with our
right.
scores.
Well, I'm gonna nose
Yeah,
it up.
but I mean,
kids.
it's,
I'm gonna nose it up.
yeah, I mean, this is the blackjack. I mean, blackjack usually figures that, that's what the cops used to carry. You get hit over the head with. So
Oh, Jiminy
So
Christmas.
the company I work for has a plant that's not far from Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. I do have some information. So while you guys are nosing it up and going in to get your thoughts on this, so
Banana.
I
smell
do
the banana.
It's
banana.
got some of that in
Throw
there.
some banana
banana.
in
It's
there.
got a green apple. It's got
I taste the
it's
water.
caramel. You get the
I taste that damn extra
vanilla.
water.
It's subtle. It's a subtle
Anyway,
nose.
let's go with your facts.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. So for the type, Jim Beam is considered a bourbon whiskey. Jack is considered a Tennessee whiskey. The
Correct.
mash bill, Jim Beam is 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley. Jack is 80% corn, 12% barley, and 8% rye. We decided the Jack was 80 proof. I don't know if the Jim is 80 proof or 86 proof because that's what I found online. So cheese is gonna
40% alcohol? 80.
They're 80,
They're
80,
both
so that's
80.
good.
All
The
right.
measurements are the same, folks.
The reach is the same.
So then who knows if the rest of my facts are true? Okay.
Well,
But,
Let's put that back up here just so you know.
so it looks good.
It's
It's rumble time.
Class!
Let's get back on track.
Let's get ready to rumble.
So, as far as sales in 2023, Jim Beam sold 16.7 million cases to Jack Daniel's 14.6 million cases.
Okay.
And it might be related to the price point. So what I
Yep.
found is that Jim runs between $15 to $20,
Yep.
where Jack is $20 to $25.
Right.
I think
So-
it's the international distribution as well.
Right, that is
It
also
could
true.
be because
Because if you go to Europe and you order bourbon, why is the number one bourbon Jim Beam White? Because that's what all they have. Unless they have a nice, when I was in Switzerland, they had Four Roses.
Rose is nice.
But that also brings up another interesting point, is
Ooh.
that Jack Daniels, is it or is it not a bourbon? It is a Tennessee whiskey
Correct.
based on Prohibition.
Right.
Because when they came out of Prohibition, Jack Daniels did not want to be associated with the bourbons. So they created a classification, Tennessee whiskey,
Sour man.
sour mash.
Okay.
And so in the broad spectrum of things, yes, it is a bourbon, but it is a Tennessee whiskey. And that was a lot of years of research and a lot of, hey, no, it's not a bourbon. Yes, it's a bourbon. Argue if you will. All the research is out there. It is still a bourbon, but they classify it as a Tennessee whiskey.
That's
So-
a great story. Thank you for that. I did not know that.
I get more on the nose than I do on the palate.
Right.
So I will say to your point.
I like the way you're shaking that stick tonight. You need that more often.
Is that a Harry Potter one?
Yes.
Whoa,
it is.
easy.
It might be. I'll
Okay,
turn you
Hermione.
into a toad. Joris, to your point, Joris
Hermione.
said he's never had Jim Beam, but he has a small collection of Jack Daniels,
Okay.
and he's over there in
Belgium.
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 And we got your picture, and we're going to post it on the Facebook page. You and your lovely wife.
Awesome. Awesome.
Next week, we'll say what our predictions were for what Joris looked like,
Yes.
and then what he really looks
Yes. All right.
like. Just kidding.
Yeah, we've seen the picture. You haven't.
I would tell Joris that my son is a big World War II tank guy, and when we took our boys' vacation in Europe, we went to the Ardennes Forest to see
no kidding.
the tank battles, and
Yeah.
we might have stopped at Spa to watch some racing. So
Awesome.
Belgium is a wonderful, wonderful country.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Very nice. Never been there.
I like their waffles.
Are we
Who
doing
invited him?
Are we doing a whiskey show today?
Who invited him?
All right, Big G. So you've been sniffing and snorting
So
on that one.
I've been nosing it, and like I said, I'm sure if the audience heard, I said green apple forward.
Yes.
You get that little cinnamon. You definitely get the honey, or not honey. I'm sorry. You get the green apple. Did I say that already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and caramel. And vanilla. I get all that on the nose. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very nice nose, but it's no flavor.
None.
None.
Zero.
Very watered down.
Zero. It is watered down.
I would call it balanced. It has flavor, but I wish when I was as a young man, I was not shooting it after beer, but drinking it out of a Glencairn glass, because I really view it as very palatable, but mild.
And then that's the thing too, is that everybody used to do a shot of Jack or
Shot of
Jack
Jack.
and Coke, and it's like now that we know how to drink this stuff, now we can revisit this and try and see if it's something you want to go back to.
So what do you? So go ahead. Did everybody put their opinion in? Because I want to go.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go on. Go on.
No, I want to know how you want it to go.
So I wanted to know, once everybody puts out what they tasted and tried, then we're gonna determine who got the first punch in the eye, or who got the first knockdown. Let's just put it that way.
But do we have to try the gym before
we
do
gotta try that,
right?
you know. But I mean, I would
Not really.
I would say that it would score a couple of points right now. Okay, we could do that. You know, yeah, we could do that. This is very loose, folks. We're still figuring this one out.
Oh yeah, this is what makes
But I mean,
it great.
yeah, we can.
I'm saying just the first knockdown.
Yeah, we could do the first one. Is it something that you would drink again?
The
Yeah,
other
that'd
product,
work.
we might try the other product. That
Yeah.
might be the second.
That might be the blow. Yeah. Okay, we could do that. But you know, I think I need a little bit more of that blackjack.
So what I will say,
I didn't take much the first time around.
what surprises me the most is one of the things that I had mentioned when I first drank Jack, it had too much of a bite to it, and that's why I
Years
switched
ago.
to
That
Jim
That was
Beam.
years ago. You're
Yeah.
exactly right.
Right,
That's,
so
that's
now-
what Bob was trying to tell you.
But
So-
90 proof then.
Well, this is
Right.
true.
Which is a game changer in a 90 proof to an 80 proof. I mean, really.
So now that I'm drinking it, it's water with a little flavor in there. It's not as flavorful as some of the 80 proof
Right.
Irish whiskeys or scotches that we've had in the
True,
past. It's very tame and nothing at all like I remember it.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat with you. Is that it's still a good starter bourbon. I mean, it still has flavor, but it's very, very watery. Very thin on the tongue. No finish. There's not a whole lot of flavor developing. The nose has got a whole lot more than the
It's
taste.
got nice legs.
You know, but I mean, the nose is much better than the palate.
No, you're right. I agree.
So-
I agree.
I agree.
That said, if we're getting to, I mean, sitting in the audience, I've had some pours of some really big flavors and some imbalanced flavors. And there are some people who like a lot of flavor, and that's what they define good as. I like balance and smooth more.
Right.
So I'm very satisfied with this drink.
Mm-hmm.
I like its calm demeanor. And I find it very palatable and enjoyable. And it's not a, I enjoy bourbons with more flavor, but this is balanced and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing that's dangerous or yuck about this. It is just a nice, smooth drink.
I would concur. I would concur with that. It is a nice smooth. It's not one you're going to sit and sip. It's really one to shoot.
Well,
I don't agree with that.
I agree with it. It's a
I could-
shooter, not a sipper.
Alex Van Halen style. Pour it in.
It's a Bluto from Animal House.
I would agree, and it's so interesting how your palate changes.
Right.
Like, to me, this is a nice sipper. Like, if I just wanted that whiskey taste, I would maybe just go to this, you know,
Right.
and just, I can understand why I want to try now is the Lynchburg lemonades.
Right.
Now that it's summer. You know, you've got the Jack Daniels, which to me is a nice, you know, it's not one of those heavy things.
Correct.
You put it with the lemonade, I think it'd be perfect for summer.
I mean, you almost put it on the rocks, and I mean, you can leave this on your tongue and it doesn't burn.
Not at all.
True.
That's really docile because most of what we try down here, if you leave it on your tongue, has antimycotic
It'll grab you
properties
by
that-
the
Antimycotic?
that kill everything on your tongue.
Whoa.
I think this is not
Was that a cheese term?
a food term in general.
Up north, is he bringing work into this?
Oh,
Nort, save
Rob's gonna
him.
tell me what I said wrong.
Up north, save him.
So do you want to throw a punch on this one? You want to say if there's punches
Yeah, I'll
thrown?
punch him.
Do you want to say if Jack's got a punch
Yeah,
or no?
come
So
on.
I
What do you think?
think Jack's a bitch,
Oh.
and just for the fact that there's the nose, when the nose is better than the palate, there's something to say there.
Right.
So at the end of the day, and I'm not being, because I'm a bourbon or a beam guy, excuse me, but at the end of the day, you can smell all you want, but you really want to taste and see what the product tastes like when it goes down your palate. So,
That's what she
but
said.
at the end of the day, we'll see what happens with Jim Beam. I'm not a fan of the Jack. Is it good? Is it good for? You know what that's good for? Asshole friends that come over and never bring anything.
Oh! So let me ask you this then: is it a connection punch or is it a swing and a miss for you?
No, that was a kick in the head.
A kick in the head.
It really a
boot to the
roundhouse
head.
kick, like
Amen.
like a Patrick Swayze
Yeah,
roadhouse
like
kind
my
of
mother,
kick.
like
Okay.
my mother
Okay.
used to do.
Okay.
So I am surprisingly pleased with this. I do like it. I do think that this is something when you just want, like I said, you want to sip it. It's good. Do we have another glass?
Yeah.
I will.
You
'Cause
want one of these? You want one of these?
It doesn't. Oh yeah, thank you. I can pour my own. I'm sorry.
I want that bottle back though. When you're done passing, I want that
Just
bottle
so you
back.
kids know, I wash about 14 glasses every weekend, and there's only 4 people here.
So, I'm impressed with the Jack. I think it's good. I'm not a hater. I'm not a lover. I think it's it's right there, right in the middle.
Is there an age on there? On that,
Oh, I
that
had an
Jack
age
Daniels?
statement.
Is there an age statement on there? This has got a 4-year age for sure.
One of them did. One of them didn't.
This is the one that has the 4.
They miller their whiskey drop by drop.
Yes, it's through charcoal. And if you go down to the Jack Daniels distillery, there is a guy. His
Smell it.
job is to do nothing but water down
Sugar
the
maple,
wood that is melted, that is cooked for the charcoal.
sugar
to
maple
filter it through.
charcoal, sugar maple charcoal,
Didn't get any of that.
handcrafted barrels, tasted, awarded. Since 1904.
Well, I got
Okay.
Jim has a 4-year age statement, and there is no age statement stated on the Jack Daniels.
Because bourbon has to be considered.
Right.
It has to be aged at
And
least
it's
4
a
years.
Tennessee
But
whiskey.
Tennessee, it's just all free and lawless and over 21.
Cheese has
Yeah,
been paying
There you
attention
go.
in
Put
class.
that over there.
yes.
Yeah, everybody has their pour of.
Yep.
Oh, that's right, Jim Beam.
Yeah, let me have the Jim Beam bottle when you're done with that
There
one.
you go.
I'm going to tell you, it's for me still. It still has a little bit of a punch. It still has a connection on there. It's still, like you said, it's still a sipper. It's still a drinker. If we're at the bar and there's really, this is what their choices are. You go to a wedding or something else. I probably would take a pour of this. I would drink this.
I would
So,
too.
Jim Beam.
No, I would do the
Jack.
Jack Daniels.
The Jack, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
the Jack it's still a solid pour. It's still an entry level thing. So I would say it would be a connection punch.
I've had $100 bottles that I didn't enjoy as much as that.
That's true.
That's
I'll give you
true,
that.
right.
I'll give you
But-
that. I
Good
definitely
point.
give you that.
Good point.
Right.
Because price doesn't dictate quality, man. We
Right.
learned that
Never.
the wrong way, right? So, at the end of the day. So,
I mean, they spend all that time with charcoal and mellowing and all that stuff, and your end result is pretty much, it's not
So
really,
the-
it's not apparent any big flavors. It's just mellow. There's flavor there, but they took all the peaks off the flavor. It's just the flavor.
well, when you run it through charcoal, that takes away a lot of the product.
Right, you're filtering again. You got to
So,
filter.
exactly.
So.
You know what? As you said that, I tasted the charcoal in the Jack.
Right. I tasted nothing in the Jack.
I tasted the charcoal.
That's why I'm drinking this Pellegrino.
Okay.
So
So,
I
get
will
some
say,
flavor out
Jack
of it.
Daniels. They opened their own cooperage
Yep.
in 2014 down in Alabama. So
What
they
is
make
it, cooperage?
their
This is where they make the
barrel
barrels.
making.
Oh.
They make their own barrels.
He isn't paying attention in class.
This cooperage thing's got
So-
me confused.
So are we done with Jack?
I don't feel
We are. We're
dirty.
done.
So
We're done.
everybody
Everybody's
says you said
Hey,
swing and a miss.
We have a foul. There's already a body
You know-
blow to the underneath the belt.
Okay, but
Somebody smoked my cigar.
That wasn't me.
Yes, it was.
It was. Did I really?
Yes.
Well, then quit putting it in my same ashtray.
Oh, you put your lips all over it?
All right. So
Wait, I need Jim Beam to kill it because I don't think Jack Daniels will.
Oh.
all right. So
Hey, Brenda, bring your ass down here.
yeah.
oh.
No, so you know what?
right,
I'm middle of the road. I think it's good. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's over. I'm right there, middle of the line. It's good. It's a contender.
So it was kind of a connecting blow, but no damage.
Exactly.
It's
Okay.
a body blow, but I can
Okay.
still breathe.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Ain't no Mike Tyson hit. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start off with the Jim Beam here, and the stories that I have with this is when I quit drinking the Jack, I started going with the Jim Beam and all this,
Right.
and it was like, so I picked up the Jim Beam bottle, and it was like, on the Jim Beam bottle, if you look, they got all the distillers and on the side of the bottle here on the
It's
picture.
an awesome history.
And what's really cool, and you go to this last picture, and it's like, if you're into the whiskeys and bourbons and you go to some of these events and stuff, you get to meet some of the really cool people. So I would always go, hey, you see this last guy here, Freddie Knoll? I know him. He knows me. So you can actually literally say, hey, I know that guy.
That's funny.
Yeah, and that's an awesome story.
So I mean, it's like,
Yes.
so we go to a couple events and you get to know these guys, and they're really just regular, down-to-earth people.
Sure.
And the story that Freddie would say is that when he was in college, and he told me this one himself, he says when he was in college, he was always invited to all the parties because he would always bring some Jim Beam.
Absolutely.
So
what I think is interesting, kind of to hit on that story that you were talking about Freddie No. So Jim Beam, the Beam family that started it all, it was his daughter Margaret that married Frederick Booker No, and the No's have eventually 1, 2, 3. They've become the master distillers over there at Jim Beam, and they brought out a bunch of products like we have talked about. One of my favorites, I know, Greg, you were talking about the black, but one of the favorites that they brought out was the double oak. Which
Jim Beam Double Oak and
One of my
Jim Beam
favorite-
Black, regular black is.
One of my favorite Jim Beam products. They don't make it anymore. That's why I like it. Jim Beam Black is a good product. This is I know we're getting off track. I'm sorry. So this is a new product they put out. Jim Beam Black is
Third rail.
good, right? So this is aged 7 years now. This in particular product, and back in the day, they don't make it anymore. I was able to get at least 4 bottles and stash them away, but distiller's cut.
Yes.
And this is very similar, that 7-year age, to distiller's cut. But anyway, that's so. I don't want to get everybody crossed up.
I'm going to take you off. I'm going to stay on your trail too.
But I'm going
Go
to tell you, there's one thing that I recognize between the 2 bottles: the color.
And I wonder if it has to
that's
do.
a deeper char, and this is a lighter. That's probably a 3.
I wonder if it has something to do with the charcoal filtering, and or the fact that there's a black label on the bottle as opposed to a white label that's letting more light through.
Okay.
Look
okay.
at you.
Okay.
And it's rounded versus square.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Which changes up things.
you're right.
All right, come on, let's get into this.
But just
Go
say
ahead.
on your the one thing that Jim Beam cut out is when they did their original small batch that included Booker's, Baker's, Basil Hayden, and Knob Creek. Before they put Knob Creek in there, they had a product in there called Jacob's Well.
Yes. That's no longer.
No, it is not. And I am really sad because I really thought that the Jacob's Well was a better product
And I
than
had-
the Knob Creek.
I had opportunity in travel to buy a couple of those bottles, and I kicked myself in the rear end
Yeah.
because I did not
Because
travel.
that Jacob's Well was a far superior product
absolutely
to the Knob
was.
Creek. So
My-
that's
my-
my piece.
My Jim Beam story is not one of consumption, but one of association. And the Herbick family that does Tom's Foolery,
Yes.
I believe that their pot for distilling was at one time owned by the Beam family.
Yes,
it was.
Very
Yes,
cool.
they
It was.
bought. They bought their.
And
they
so
bought
here in
You're
Ohio,
exactly-
there's a piece of Jim Beam history, and they've actually approached them to buy it back, but they really didn't say yes.
Nope.
So that's a cool thing for
Oh, wow.
us Ohioans that get to have tomfoolery products. It's distilled on a Jim Beam on a
Jim
Jim
Beam
product,
distill.
yeah, equipment.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Look at you go, man! You come up with some
Wow.
really good
Wow.
nuggets
Hey,
of knowledge today.
she
Look
was.
at you
I
go,
was in
man.
lacrosse. Joby was in lacrosse.
What's 2 plus
you know,
2?
17.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You remember that from the Little Rascal?
Oh, we gotta put that little Rascals picture
I
back
do
up, by
have
the
to
way.
put that up. That's a
Holy crap.
that's a collector's item actually.
So I have some information that I do want to share.
Go ahead.
So, it's not just the old number 7 and the white label.
Right.
They have expanded through the
100%.
years, and they have distributed many, 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 many products to which we like some and we don't like others from each distillery. So Jim Beam, just starting off, they did Basil Hayden's, they do Baker's, and they do Knob Creek.
And
Booker's.
Booker's.
Not Bakers. Booker's.
Booker's,
Oh.
Baker's, Basil Hayden, and Knob Creek.
Right.
They
That's
do
their
Baker's
small batch.
too.
I don't know Bakers.
I don't know Baker's either.
Baker's, I think, is a
Old
Buffalo
Cup.
Trace product.
No, it isn't.
It's not.
It
What
is.
it?
It's the small batch of Jim Beam.
You're right. You are right.
Yep.
You are right.
Thank you.
You are right.
And then
It's very hot. Just
It is. Baker's is hotter than Booker's.
it is.
So.
It is. And then
I've
what did
seen
you
it.
say? Basil Hayden, right?
Yeah, Basil Hayden.
They're
Basil
toasted is very good.
Hayden's and Knob Creek.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Knob Creek is the one that you think is really hot. Is
Well,
that
they have multiple releases on those, so there's a lot of them that I let you
Yeah.
brought a bottle, but yes. So there are some that are way too hot for me. I'm not a fan of that, but they do put out a good product with all that. They really, really do.
I have heard a person who toured and spent time with Booker No.
Yep.
I think has he passed?
Yes, he has. Yes.
But he was notorious for ultra hot, heavy flavors.
he liked the high powers.
the
So
original-
If he picked anything, it was knock your socks off, full on chin punch,
Moonshine.
Mike Tyson to the head,
Moonshine.
boom. Yeah, heavy.
Yeah, Freddie would
yeah.
always tell stories when he's at the events that he said that Booker would sit there on the porch on the rocking chair and just drink the highest proof stuff that he
Yeah,
could
Yeah,
make.
absolutely.
I heard
So-
the same thing.
I show Frederick Booker No the third.
Yep, Freddie
Yeah,
No.
he was the one that did the Knob Creek.
Yep.
And Knob Creek is
No,
not for me.
Mainstream.
Not all of them are. Just so you know.
Well,
I don't,
the
want-
ones
I don't want
I've
to say all that.
tried,
Knob
I
Creek
will
is good. That's
clarify.
a different story.
Knob Creek
Okay.
is good, but I still love that Jacob's Well. It's one of those that
It is.
It's that memory taste. I mean, I don't know if you guys get this, but when somebody says like the Basil Hayden or the Jacob's Well or whatever your favorite bourbon is,
Two Fingers tequila.
Orange rind.
Hey, Jose is not even in this round yet,
Orange rind.
but you can actually get a memory flavor, and that's what I get, and that's so.
Oh.
All right, so let's-
And then Jack Daniels, of course, they won a gold medal. The old number 7 won a gold medal at the World's Fair in St. Louis in 1904.
Wow.
Wow. And then in 1947, Jackie Gleason introduced this to an unknown singer at the time. I don't know. Has anyone heard of him? Frank Sinatra?
Frankie,
Frank, never heard of him.
1947.
old Bloodshot Eyes.
Old Blue Eyes.
I'm just going to say on Jack Daniels, they've been awarded 7 medals since 1904. So
That's
one of
nice.
them was 1904.
None of them?
So since 1904,
They've won
which if
7?
I'm counting, it's about 100.
Take your shoes off so you can count.
Yeah.
120.
Maybe bring yours
In
on.
120 years, they've won since the first one.
Pluck your butt
6
here.
awards.
Come on.
Well, you do know it costs money to enter the contest, so they got enough brand
They
recognition
speak for
right now.
themselves.
All right. Are we
right,
talking
we know
about
the
this?
toast?
Are we
Yeah.
talking about this? What are we doing?
Let me just finish this up. So we had talked about some of the different brands of the Jim Beam. So of course we have Gentleman Jack, which came out in 1988. We have Single Barrel Select, which came out in 1997. Single Barrel Rye in 2015, and something that I think Cheese and G, you'll be very interested in. In 2023, they partnered with McLaren to produce a limited edition bottle to celebrate Jack's official sponsorship of the McLaren Formula One team.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but you're exactly right.
You don't have a bottle of that?
I forget how much money it is. Not
you
that
can
that
find
matters, believe you me. But at the end of the day, I just read through all of that stuff just this week, the McLaren. So I saw it online. It was like $2,000.
Right.
So, but if I can get one, I'm gonna get it because I'm a big car guy.
And there's the Frank Sinatra,
Absolutely.
You know,
so many different
Jim Beam
variations.
or Jack Daniels. And,
One of our
We're
favorites.
gonna do. Go ahead.
One of our favorites is the Rested Rye.
yeah.
That is, I mean, that is my favorite Jim Beam product. Very
Jack.
Jack.
I'm sorry,
Jack.
Jack product, and it is unlike anything you've ever had before.
Amen.
It's a little slice of heaven.
And you got the
I
last
certainly
bottle.
I certainly hope that they're planning on figuring out how to do it again, because it is heaven's nectar for sure.
So you got the last bottle for Christmas, but I have 8 packed, and I have another 8 matching Series 1 and then Series 2.
Series 2 is my favorite.
All right,
Banana,
geez, so,
banana,
so Mr. Jim Beam and his T-shirt over there. What are you gonna do on the scoring on this one? What kind of punches are you gonna throw with this?
You know what? I would take him to the corner and smack him around a little bit, and walk back almost to the center, let him come to you, and I take him right to the ground.
Okay.
Spoken like a true wrestler.
Okay.
My whole life.
Karen, what do you got?
You know, I'm surprised. So I have completely done a flip-flop. Where I thought Jim had more, or Jack had more spice than Jim, I am going to say that Jim has more spice than Jack right now. And I'm getting more flavor, and if you're looking for more of that enjoyable taste of a bourbon,
Shameless plug.
hula, 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 hula.
You know how the girls are in the ring,
All
right?
right, let's have that bottle back.
Oh,
Bring
where's
that bottle back here.
where's your G-string?
It's it. Jimbo's
Anything
wearing
he
it.
wears is a G-string.
Jimbo's wearing it.
You know, I'm surprised because there is more flavor out of this Jim Beam, and I really, when I was younger, I switched to Jim Beam because I thought it was tamer. But now that I'm drinking it, it's got more to it.
It's got more ethyl.
It does.
I don't
It
get a high
really,
ethyl
really
on it
does.
at all.
No,
It's
but
not
it has
high,
more
but there's
compared.
more ethyl compared to the Jack.
Yeah,
Jack is
and-
more mellow.
Which
Yes.
brings in a little bit more flavor.
Yes. So, you know, if you're sitting on a porch swing, you don't want to get too drunk. You go with the Jack. You want a little something that might make you feel a little something. You go with the Jim. That's my thought.
Okay.
You want me to go or you want to go?
I can go.
You go.
I'm surprised, but I taste the ethyl. It's still a very drinkable drink, and there's definitely more flavor in the bean. But for today's mood, I got here kind of.
Which is
they
is
locked
really
me out.
important.
I was sitting outside, like picking up grass and throwing away
Well,
garbage.
did you pick some
and-
weeds?
did you
or-
wash my
I picked a few
Suburban?
leaves and I dumped out. I didn't want any mosquitoes to grow, so I dumped out a few standing water areas.
Thank you.
But
It's about time you did something.
you know, for today,
Holy crap.
I will say it. I like the Jack a little more than the Jim.
Okay.
You
And
like
I-
the Jack
and
better?
I would say that the best product that either of these two companies makes is the Jack product, the Rusted Rye. But if I still have in my bar, I always have a bottle of Jim Beam Redemption Rye because
That's
I
a good
really
product.
like that
Really
drink.
is.
And it's very affordable, like
It is.
these two are.
Was
if,
it like
if you gave me a
20 bucks?
choice of Jack, Jim Beam, and Redemption Rye, or not Redemption Rye, I'm sorry, but
Jim Beam, right?
Jim
Jack
Beam Rye.
Daniels, right?
yeah,
Jim Beam Rye.
I think it's Redemption.
We knew
no,
what you
no,
did.
it's Jim Beam Rye.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
drink that, but
Okay.
if I'm going to pick, I am picking the Jack right now.
Okay. What do you got there?
What I
Bourbon
have
Bob,
now
what do you
is
got there, bro?
really going to surprise the hell out of you.
What?
Years ago, I mean, I haven't touched Jim Beam White in years. This is the first time I've had it in a long, long time. And years ago, there was a funky taste in there that I did not like. I don't know what it is. It's not in this
not
bottle.
I'm not even going there.
It's not in this bottle, but based
Nutskins?
on Nutskins, yeah. No, I mean there's still a little bit of a twang, but based on what what we're normally drinking now, a little higher proof, a little bit more flavor, a little bit more charcoal, a little bit more actual flavor. This has got it over the Jack. I'm gonna have to say that Jim Beam got a flying kick and took Jack down on this one for me.
Little
kind of
Patrick Swayze Roadhouse.
little Roadhouse on her. Yeah, I mean the white on this one has taken out the black. I don't know why, but I do like this product better than that blackjack.
I agree with you.
Yes.
I agree with you. What do you got, girlfriend?
No,
Oh, she already went.
I already
no.
went,
I'm
but
sorry.
you know, listening to everything that you guys have said, I agree with everything you've said. And you know, Cheese, you said something. It depends on your mood, really. You know, do you want something that has some flavor and some kick to it, or do you want just a sipper? Are you just gonna chill and whatever? It depends on your mood and what you're looking for. I will say, for summer when it gets a little humid, I would agree that the Jack would be the better drink to go to. Like I said, with the Lynchburg lemonade, I think it would be more refreshing, where I think the Jim Beam would just make you sweat more. I'm just saying.
I agree.
But you know, I'm surprised really about the flip in the spices that I have experienced over the
100%.
years.
I mean, the you know, tasting all the other stuff that we've tasted, and you know, the education that we've had and have earned ourselves and shared. The Jim Beam has more flavor all the way around, more nose, and there is actually a finish. The tongue feel is still very thin, but there is a finish and a flavor that lingers on the Jim Beam that does not happen with the Jack Daniels.
Okay.
I totally agree. It stays
So-
with you longer.
Right.
So before we do our scoring, so to say, what do we got on the scroll?
Oh, whoa.
Come on, it's got to be
It
blowing up.
was blowing up.
It
I
was
mean,
blowing up, but I think people stopped to listen to what we
Yeah.
were doing.
yours has been active. Rico, Rob up north, and
I want to
Justin
hear
kicked in.
Justin. Okay. I want
Joe D'Amico he never really liked Jack, but he liked the Jim Beam Honey. But it's been a long time on that. Yeah, we've been doing pretty good here. Everybody's been hitting. So, what are you guys drinking? I know there was a couple people on the posts that were saying that they were going to be drinking with us. So if you've been drinking with us, let us know what your thoughts are.
probably asleep by now.
Nah, yeah, this is really off the rails. But I mean,
What's
it's
up
been
north
fun.
have to say? I need to know what up north has to say.
Hi.
No, he did. He was
was
talking
it?
about he's enjoying an Olivia V because
Olivia
he's
V.
out of Diablos.
Oh.
I don't know if that's a hint.
All right,
or,
I'll take care of you, brother. I'll take care of you.
But that other than that, it's I think everyone's listening. Joe D'Amico, I don't know if you said
Yeah.
this, not a fan of Jack. He liked the Jim Honey. And that's that's interesting too, because I don't know which one you kind of prefer as far as the look at him. Which one you prefer as far as the featherweight level, but
Got him in the corner.
you know
Got him in the corner. Go ahead.
I love some Jack Fire.
Yes.
So, everybody loves
Jack Fire is actually very good. I turned you on to that.
You got Jack Fire, and then you got
Mickey.
Jim Beam Cinnamon.
And Mickey did.
Yeah, but the
So-
Jim Beam Fire is a great
Jack.
Jack Fire.
or, I'm sorry. Did I say Jim Beam?
Yep.
That's, of course. But anyway, so the Jack Daniels Fire, right? Did I get
Jack
that right?
Fire, yep.
That is a very good product, by the way.
It is awesome. And, Fireball was huge, and then everyone said it was mixed with, I don't know, what is it?
Glycol.
Radiator fluid
Glycol.
Yeah,
or
like,
something,
But
yeah.
anyway.
Urban legend.
Yeah, urban legend, absolutely it is.
Well, that's what you used to
can't
cut during
believe what you-
Prohibition. They used to cut all the bourbons with glycol, and that's why people would go blind.
You can't
And that's
believe
why. And
anything.
that's why Bonded was created.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, back
Look
in
at
the
you again!
Gee,
Holy shit!
I learned it.
oh my goodness.
But I love me some Jack Fire. It is awesome. So if you are a
I like any
fan
of that
of
stuff.
Fireball and you want to try something that maybe doesn't burn a lot, but it still gives you that cinnamon flavor, Jack Fire is awesome.
It is.
Yeah, and remember that Jim Beam and Jack Daniels both came out with apples. They both came out with peaches. They both came out with all these different flavors.
Honeys. And
Right. It's like, a Washington apple, which is a really good drink. It's the apple and cranberry juice. It's a whatever whiskey. It used to be Crown Apple and cranberry juice. But Crown Apple is very expensive, so I would buy the Jim Beam apple.
Absolutely.
Because it was much more budget friendly. Peach, I don't like anything peach, but they have all the flavors. I stay away from the flavors, and in this one, I have a definitive winner.
All right.
I cannot wait to hear what your winner is. I think I'm going to be surprised.
Winner,
but
chicken
Rick,
dinner.
Karen's neighbor,
Ah,
says he
Rich. What's up, dog?
likes peach Jim Beam, talking about your peach.
So we're talking about. So anyway, I dropped him off some stuff this week, and I could not find the quart of peach that we had made, that Robert had made. I cannot find it. I don't know where I put it down for whatever reason, but I don't have to know. So, what's that? So I'm just saying. So Rob likes. I'm sorry, Rich likes. Apple pie and different things like that. But and I gave him a.
Put them both against the ropes. They're both against the ropes right now.
It's all like Donkey Kong.
Oh my goodness! Oh, do you see that shit?
Yeah, well,
We have action pictures here on the Whiskey Roundtable today.
wait a minute. From outside the ring, Jim Beam Black comes in.
Wow! What happened?
Rob Up North said he is not drinking tonight, but I sip JB and party with Jack Black. JD Single Barrel is my go-to. So I don't know. It kind of sounds like Up North's a JD guy.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, he makes many trips down to Tennessee, and he gets to the local fair, and both George Dickel and Jack Daniels have a lot of things that aren't available to everybody else, but they're available in Tullahoma County, Tennessee,
I did
Coffee County.
I did a little research today, and I got
That reminded me of something.
Up North a Jim Beam 7-year, and I got you one as well. So anyway,
Little B over here did this little thing earlier, which reminded me of something. Is that Jim Beam also, back in the '70s, did a whole decanter series where they did trains and everything else.
We have a couple.
Where Jim Beam or Jack Daniels, I don't think they ever did any decanters. I have not found any. So
Who did the Elvis ones?
I believe Jim Beam did.
I thought so too.
There's an Elvis
Yeah.
one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I gotta get my hands
But if you
I
guys
know
are
you
a
could
fan
get
of I Dream of Jeannie,
I have a lot of genie bottles.
the I Dream of Jeannie bottle was a Jim Beam
Product.
holiday
Definitely.
release bottle.
That's where my father got that.
Yes, that bottle is.
If you remember correctly,
All hail Barbara Eden.
Yes.
all the series.
First
of
one to
those-
show her belly button on TV.
Belly. Oh, okay.
And what a
belly
fine belly button it was.
He had some badass cars too, the husband. But if you remember correctly, my nephew,
Who shot JR?
my sister Tina's son,
Cully.
Cully, okay, I got him the authentic genie bottle. So he still has that bottle.
They're out there, but they're like
Oh, they're
$150 a piece,
Yeah.
emptied.
When I was buying
And they're
them,
not
it was
decorated.
$30
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah,
And
I
we're
guess, I
talking-
guess the legend goes is that they had the bottle on stage, and there was a stage guy that just kind of went and decoupaged and did a bunch of prettiness on the outside of the bottle, and they went, boom, this is the bottle that Jeannie grows up in. So,
Awesome.
all right.
All right,
so
what do we got,
So
kids?
I
What do we got?
got one more. Joris said his favorite Jack Daniels is the single barrel proof, but the lower proof single barrels are always good.
Great
Agreed with George.
Great product.
Yes.
Joris. Great.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, so should we stand them both up and see who is victorious right now?
Dang.
Let me see. Let me see.
I'm torn.
Let me see. I'm torn too.
For those of you that couldn't see,
We have no cancel culture here, so we're still being an unbiased opinion.
Oh, good lord!
oh my gosh.
This has been off
So
the
they
rails.
Is
they-
he
they're-
Clubber
they have
Lang,
all
or
taken
was he
their-
Clubber
They have
Lang?
all taken their corner in the ring, and we are waiting for the decision.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Dang.
So
the
who's going
Italian judge is undecided.
first? Oh my goodness.
Somebody.
All right, for a TLC match, let's go for taste, legend, and cost.
Taste, legend, and cost.
Taste,
Oh,
they
that's
both
an
they
easy.
both were relatively okay. Jim Beam had it for taste. Jim Beam had it for cost.
And they
And
have
I think
it for
Jack
legend.
Daniels has got it for legacy.
No, I think Jim does.
I think Jim Beam's got it for legacy because there's more Jack Daniels stories than Jim Beam stories.
You know what? I will say because of the connection with Freddie Booker No and Jim Beam and how they branched out,
Right.
I think Jim takes that.
But Bluto chugged a bottle of Jack Daniels in Animal House. He didn't chug a bottle of Jim Beam.
Which is why that was my go-to. That's why I'm like, oh, I gotta try this. Pluto like that shit.
They took the bar!
Holy shit!
All right, let's go. Let's get this thing back on some rails.
Dag on it.
Greg, judge.
Well, knowing what I smelled and knowing what I drank, I would have to say, how do I say this? I would say, because the Jack Daniels had no flavor, it had a great nose, but it had no flavor, I would have to say that it's water.
Okay.
So when you come back to Jim Beam, I would say that the product is very good, the taste is good, everything is as it should be. It's a good thing, something I would like to have. I will have, but at the end of the day, that's a very good bottle for any opportunity, any party, any just sit down, drink, the whole 9 yards. I think it's much better. So it definitely isn't Granny's panties, that's for sure. So
Whoa.
Grandma doesn't stink.
Grandma doesn't stink for sure.
Okay.
It's a long story.
Lady K.
Can you lift
Lady
my
K.
leg? Just go ahead.
So, no, I mean, based on what you said, you are picking
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam. So, you said Jack is watery and no flavor. This is what I captured.
Correct. The nose is great. The nose is great on Jack Daniels, but there's no flavor in it.
Yeah, it's watery, no flavor. It's nice to have a good bottle at parties. Is that the
Yeah.
Jack or is that the Jim?
That's the Jim.
Okay. So that's why you picked the Jim. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to
Yeah, go ahead.
take notes while we're doing this. So on to me. You know what? I'm the same way. You know, and it depends on my mood. I think Jack is a nice tame if you want a whiskey and you're not like really into the punch and the flavor, you're gonna go with Jack Daniels. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's like so against everything I've ever known for the last 30 years.
Just go with it, Karen.
Oh, hush.
She told you.
Hey, my manager is going to support. Just so you know, my manager is going to support.
You know, I will have to say, if you are going for a whiskey bourbon flavor, you've got to pick Jim Beam. Jim Beam has that flavor. It gives you something while it's still tame at the same time. So my vote is with Jim.
There you go.
Cheese.
Ding ding.
I would say both are quality drinks. I would say for today, my palate says Jack Daniels, and my rock and roll lifestyle.
I'm a little bit country.
Not me.
I'm a
Going to
little
Sonic
bit
Temple
rock and
next
roll.
weekend.
Okay.
But I think both are very acceptable.
I agree.
And
I agree.
like I said, I would probably Redemption Rye would probably be my pick over both of these drinks. However, if I were to pick one to drink, I think it's Jack Daniels. And let's face it, if you're spending $20 for a bottle, you're probably going more for the effect than the flavor.
Right.
And if you're going for the effect, the Jack Daniels is easier to drink to get to the effect, the desired outcome, than Jim Beam, because Jim Beam is a little hotter, a little more flavor. So if you're going to fill your belly, get a belly full of bourbon or get a belly full of whiskey, I think you have to pick Jack Daniels. So I'm a Jack Daniels guy tonight.
All right. All right. What time you going home?
We got to wrestle first, some bitch.
Some bitch.
So,
Bob's got the final call.
Oh my gosh, we have 2 Jims and a Jack. You are.
deciding-
All y'all say that. I mean, I have a long history with Jack Daniels.
Yes, you do.
Jack Daniels has a long history and much longer story than Jim Beam, as far as I can tell. You know, as far as movies and what people drink and all that stuff. But based on tonight, I am going to say that somewhere in Lynchburg, there's going to be a little for sale sign on my little postage stamp of property that Jack Daniels gave me. I am going to give my decision today to Jim Beam. Believe it or not. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I have changed because Jim
Defector.
Beam. I'm not a defector, but Jim Beam had more flavor at the end of the day. I actually got more flavor, more finish, a better product for less money in the Jim Beam White
Amen.
than I did the legacy of Jack Daniels. So
I
I will say this was a knockout. It was close, but I have to go with Jim Beam on this one.
Set him up. Set him up, son.
Lay it down, baby. Lay it down out of the ring. Yep. The manager's not allowed in the ring. Yeah, so I mean, it almost pains me to say that, but with everything I have learned over the years of tasting whiskeys,
Sure.
Jim Beam came out on top on this one for me.
I agree. And it's not a bad product.
No, it's not. Neither one of them are. They're both really good, and they're
Yes, in
entry
their
level.
own way.
They're both great products.
But for what I like and what I'm drinking, I want something that has flavor.
Everybody's palate's different.
With the palate that we have now from drinking all the good stuff, not that this isn't good, but this one gives me more flavor and a quality product as opposed to the black.
Awesome. Okay.
So,
Yeah, wow. Wow, what a transition.
What do we
not
got?
transition.
What do we got on the scroll? 'Cause we're running long here.
Karen, it doesn't matter. Karen from Hiram says, "Hey kids."
What's up, girl?
yeah, Karen has been very active on the Facebook and the Instagram. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate you. And I've been answering 5s and 5s of emails. Yeah.
Oh, how do you find the time?
I don't know. We've gotten a few. People have been sending stuff in already. So, are we going to say that Jim Beam is the definite winner tonight?
It is. Okay. And you know what? Maybe we
can
do
say that.
Okay.
You know what we're gonna do? So maybe midsummer, we're gonna rehash the Jim Beam and Jack on their new products.
We could do that.
That'd be good.
Or we could do brackets. Jim Beam moves on to
Okay.
another bottle.
Okay.
Head to head.
Let us know
Jim-
which we
Jim-
should put Jim Beam against next.
You know what? That's gonna be hard. I love the idea.
Yeah.
But
But
who
I-
has a base product that would run with the notoriety?
That's
that's the thing,
where
right.
I was going.
Okay.
Who you gonna
These
go
are
head
two.
to head
maybe
with?
we
We're
should-
talking two staples of the
Okay,
American whiskey dream.
I
Right?
think we should go with that idea then, is go up to
Let's
the
do it.
next level.
Let's do it.
Early time.
Let's go to the next.
Okay, we can go up to the next brackets then.
Oh no, you didn't.
But Jim Beam definitely won this round easily.
Yeah. So as far as my
call that easy?
predictions,
Yeah, that was real easy.
For you, but I mean, for me, it was a tough decision for me, seriously, to go against.
Yeah, I'm very particular about what I drink. So
it was a very tough decision, and you switched your vote, which I'm very
I never had
surprised.
a vote. I just had a legacy
Well,
with it.
yeah, But, and I would say again, it all depends on what you're looking for. Yes, Joe D'Amico, Wild Turkey would win every time.
Oh, yeah.
good man.
Crazy foul.
Good man.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Old granddad.
Oh.
Maybe do an old granddad wild turkey night. Ooh.
You know what? That's a great idea.
Our
If you got-
granddad 100 proof is a great bottle,
Yes,
and
it
it's
is.
like $17, $18
Yep.
a bottle.
Yep.
That's a great product. We have to figure something out. We're going to do this
Well,
again.
yeah, if you guys like this one, let us know, and we'll try and come up with something else because I think this was really pretty good.
This was a lot of fun.
If we do this next, we have to pay George Thorogood a little money and play I Drink Alone.
One bourbon, I drink alone. A bourbon, one scotch, one beer.
What do we get on the scroll?
Karen went through it. We got
Joris said 4 Roses 80 proof. So what are you putting that up against, Joris? Is that up against
As he said,
these
he's
two?
probably just saying
Is that
that's-
what you want to see? It
No, I think
I think Four Roses for the Europeans.
That's
seems
very
to
good.
Be, that seems to be a widely distributed product.
I-
over
they
here.
have a new-
they have-
George,
they have
you're
a
on
new
point.
single
and that
barrel
is,
out.
if you're going to sell an American whiskey in Europe, Four Roses represents well.
Four Roses. What I just was going through all of my stuff, blah blah blah. But anyway, they have a single barrel out. It's not
Do
the
they?
same single barrel that they have. It's a new single barrel out.
good product.
So I don't know. You can get it here, but it's so much money. And Joris, look for that. Please look for that.
in my honest opinion-
Four Roses is a great product.
in my honest opinion, I think Four Roses is literally its own category.
It
because,
is.
I mean,
It
that
really
is
is.
that one fits almost everybody.
Yeah.
It's very underrated. People don't look at Four Roses as, because Jim and Jack are, but I never see anybody walking down there automatically in the liquor aisle just grabbing a Four Roses. Everybody's got to kind of look at it. But Four Roses is seriously,
Good product.
with
Forgotten
everything they
word.
have. They have the single barrels and all the finishes, and they do a great job with everything. I think Four Roses is its own entity, and it stands on its own.
But
I agree.
if you go to a party and you don't want to be, let's just say it. If you're bringing White Label, Jim Beam, or Jack, you're kind of bringing an unsophisticated choice to the party.
True.
However, for a little bit more money, you can bring Four Roses, and it casts a whole different image of what you're bringing to the party.
I agree.
And they all are very nice drinks, but Four Roses is just a little more sophisticated
Yeah, it is.
than the other
You're right.
two.
It is
You're
100%.
exactly right. Yeah.
Four Roses fits in everybody's budget, high or low, because they have higher end and they have lower end stuff. But I think they took the best of these two and made their own thing and did their own thing.
Sure.
True.
So-
True.
I love, and I'm sorry, and I'm prolonging this, but I love how the whiskey family tree
Yes.
is so connected. And I'm just curious, Four Roses, where their origination comes from. Is there any connection to Jack or Jim?
As far as I know, no. I think they don't have any affiliation with either one of those two. Like Beam has,
Self-made.
well, Beam has all the other distillers for all the other distilleries. Jack Daniels, as far as we know, just has Jack Daniels and Lem Motlow, and Uncle Nearest maybe because
Good one.
Langback.
Uncle
Yeah.
Nearest is the one that taught Jack Daniels how to make it. But that being said, we need to move on. I ran out of things to say.
I just want to bring up one thing before we close out. The great thing about all these distilleries, the original distilleries, if you will, in Kentucky and Tennessee, when things happen, they get together and make sure they take care of things. When I forget what Rick House,
There was Heaven Hill.
Heaven Hill and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They all came together,
Yep.
So we're talking about old school guys doing what they do and trying to make and help each other out.
Focus
So-
on the customer, making sure the customer gets
Sure.
what they want.
Absolutely.
I mean,
right.
they're all in the same business, but they all want to make money and they all want to help each other. And that was
Sure.
what Freddie Noah was saying.
right.
Just like when everybody sits on the front porch, everybody talks about it. Everybody, if they need help bottling or
Right.
the Rick House,
They're there.
whatever, they're there.
They're there. Don't matter.
And that is how it is. It's how it should be. That's how we treat each other. Is you need something, I'll help you. So
We got to pump each other up.
100%, 100%.
Absolutely.
Lift the water level for
you go.
everybody.
Next week, you came up with something good for next week. What do we got going on next week, Greg?
So Jake Sanders, what I don't have the information.
Yeah,
yet,
but Jake Sanders is
Jake
a cigar
Sanders
rep.
is a cigar rep, and he's very diverse in whiskeys.
Yes, he is.
So he'll be on our show next week.
Right.
I have
And-
it right here. He
okay.
is the Northeast Regional Sales Manager for Crowned Head and Oz Family Cigars.
There you go.
Yeah, we met him a couple of times up at Royal Havana.
Absolutely.
Great guy. So we're going to have him on the show next week. There is a show next week. We said there wasn't going to be one,
Yeah,
but there is one next week. So
Right.
And you mentioned Redemption Rye. I
Yep.
think that's what we are doing.
I think that's what we're doing next week. So,
Gonna miss that one.
Sorry.
oh darn.
I got heavy metal. I got a date with some heavy metal music.
Oh,
You
well.
are silly.
You go bang your head. We'll go drink some whiskey.
All right.
Thank you.
Make sure you take your earplugs, old man.
All right.
Not in the card.
Let's round this out. Jim Beam is the definitive winner tonight. Thank you very much. I loved it.
All right,
This
kids.
was awesome.
All
Awesome,
right.
awesome, awesome.
Kids, thanks for hanging out with us. Joris, I'm sure you woke up to do this. Nort, miss you, brother. I'll see you soon. So until then, God bless. Happy Mother's Day. Until then, I'm your host, Big G.
Karen Little B.
Bourbon Bob.
And the cheese.
All right, kids. Have a great night.
Good
Peace and
night.
love, folks. Happy Mother's Day.
Awesome. Awesome show.
That was good.
That was
I was surprised.